There's Mr. Cat. Let's see if I can pat him for a minute. He always purrs a little bit when you poke him, but he loves getting patted anyway. Oh, back to sleep he goes. He seems like sometimes he's nocturnal. Sometimes he seems like he sleeps all day, then he runs around at night. Like he hasn't gotten any mice recently, which is good, because that means there are none here, because he would get them if they were. But he loves to get things that are crinkly. The other night, it's the middle of the night, and I hear all of this noise. And, I know it's the cat. So when I got up to the bathroom and looked, there was a paper bag, regular, like you get at a grocery store, and he had torn that whole apart. And he was playing with this morning, too, as well. So, but what was I going to talk about? Oh, the summit. So we finally get to the last episode of the summit. Okay. Now, I'm going to kind of explain the show and say that, there are people who like survival stuff. There are people who like human interaction when there's a problem. And then there's people who like both. And so what is the key hook in this show, which is similar to the show Survivor, is these people, there's certain challenges, but they get put in these unbelievable predicaments where they have to vote someone off. And the thing is, just like in the Survivor game in the beginning, people were saying, well, is it a game or is it real? In other words, oh, it's a game, so I can lie to people. I can tell them one thing and then do something else later, or be telling two people the same things that are mutually exclusive of each other. Like saying, oh, I'm going to be with you, and then you tell the other person that too. And so you have this moral quagmire that gets created, and people squirm in it, and that's the pull of some of the shows like this Summit in the show Survivor. And really the survival aspects of the show weren't that great, other than they did a lot of walking in snow, and they usually would have one type of challenge every so often, on each day. They had 14 days to get to the top, or no one gets any money. There was $1 million to go around. And so the idea is here that there are these challenges, and a lot of them had to do with fear of heights or things you just thought you couldn't do. Some people dropped out during the challenge. Sometimes when they got on the other side of the challenge, they realized that they had to vote someone off right then. And then each time they hit a base camp, they had to vote someone out. So, you basically had some kind of, you got all this walking to do. You've got some kind of challenge you have to go through, but each time you hit a base camp, you had to vote someone out. So the base camp itself they've got tents set up, they got food, they got, firewood and everything. So these people aren't in kind of a real survival situation. And, of course, this cameraman and everybody around them, and when they're doing these physical challenges, they have harnesses on, and you could see someone that, falls off something or lets go of a rope they're not supposed to, boom, boom, they're safe because they've got the harness on. But, so that isn't the part, so that's kind of the little challenge, I guess. But then this whole idea of is it a game, is it not a game? And it's like, well, when you talk about $1 million, does that make any game not a game? And it's serious. And so they get these in these little, pens of, like I say, quagmires, where no matter what they decide, it's a bad decision. It hurts them to do it, and it definitely hurts the other people. Now, what happens when each person goes off? If they get voted off, they need to keep that person's money. In other words, $1 million has been divided up among all the hikers, and they're carrying it up with them. And so there are people that get voted off, and then there's people that give up, or just can't do it, and they're taken out. So the twist in this show, is that there's this load of money that people kind of took with them, and that isn't in these other people's backpacks now. And at the end of the show, the people that were, that left the show or were voted out get to pick which one of these people that reached the mountain gets the money. And again, it's similar again very much to the whole idea of Survivor again. They have the tribal councils, and they keep going through that. Well, eventually the tribal councils, there's fewer people, and each person they vote off is going to be in the jury. In other words, then they're going to have this set number of people who get to determine which one of the people that are left should get the money. So in that way, it's kind of a Survivor claim. But I'm sure my wife would watch it. She watches Survivor, so she'd watch it again. I don't know if I would, because I don't know. It's just that gets tiring after a while. It's just saying, oh, let's put people in a house with a crazy dog or something and see what they do, and we'll lock the doors so they can't get out, or something like that. Make up some situation to stress people and see how they react. And, in this, it's the decision process. It's the idea of are you toying with people's lives when you talk about the amount of money that's involved? Or can you just write that all off and say, no, I can do anything I want because this is just a game, and I want to end up with the most money or all the money at the end of the game. So only you can answer that. I'm certain I would, not that I would be, I'm old and decrepit and everything now, but I don't think I would have ever signed up for some type of thing where that's, big component of it is this, the alliances and the strategy about people forming alliances and all that stuff. And not for me. I enjoy more the survival aspects of some of these shows. But tell me what you think. Bye.